Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. Today's video, I'm sure you will have seen the title, is all about how I cleared up my acne. I'm sure you'll have seen from some of my videos that I still have some acne scars, but I don't have any active acne or any spots at all really anymore. Like I very rarely get spots, but I am still dealing with the scarring from it, and it has been quite a long time since I developed it, so it's been a lengthy process. I feel like I've built up some knowledge and some kind of tips maybe I can share with you all about how I cleared my acne, and hopefully if it just helps one person out there, then I've done my job. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. While you're here, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, and then if you want to hear all about how I cleared up my acne, then just keep watching. Before we jump into the video, actually I just did a makeup tutorial on this look right here, so I will leave a link down below to this video if you want to go and check that out. But yeah, on with the video. So I did another video all about my experience with PROACTIV, which kind of talks about the background to my skin and what kind of skin type I have. I'll do a very quick version of it here, but if you want to hear more about that, I'll leave a link to that video down below as well. But I basically never had problem skin, if you like. I never had acne as a teenager, never really had acne growing up. I didn't have like perfect clear skin, but who does, to be honest? But it was never something I was really insecure about or I was bothered about, and that was that. Then in September of last year, so we're June now, September of last year, literally one morning, totally random, I just woke up and had spots all over my face. It literally happened overnight, like no word of exaggeration. I went to bed, I had 0 spots. I woke up the next day and they weren't spots yet, but they were like all under the skin, like I could see they were brewing, and I had about, I don't know, 10 maybe, just like all red lumps under my skin. I could see they were brewing, and I was like, that's random, but like whatever, like I'll move on, I'll live. So went about my life, thought nothing of it really, thought something's obviously broke me out, something's not agreed with me. But it was bizarre because I hadn't changed my makeup, I hadn't changed my skincare, I hadn't changed anything, but whatever, moved on. Fast forward a few days, obviously all of these now lumps have turned into full-on spots and I've got breakouts basically all over my face. But because it was something new, I just thought something hasn't agreed with us, let me just get rid of them and move on. So I continued with my skincare, the spots went, and that was that. I would only ever have clear skin for then maybe a day or two before a new breakout would come, and they would kind of come one at a time after that. So I would get one and then I'd be like, oh well, I've just got a spot, whatever, I'd treat it, it would go, then I'd get another one, and they were just kind of popping up all over my face, basically a lot more than I'd ever had in the past. So at this point I knew something wasn't quite right. This went on until December, so about 3 to 4 months, but then at this point it started getting really quite bad. They were all around my chin, they were all around my jaw, they were all up on my cheeks. I never get spots on my forehead, there was basically nothing on my forehead, it was all here and here basically, and it got to the point where it was really quite bad. I will actually insert some pictures of what it looked like somewhere if I can figure out how to do it on the screen. So from September to December it basically just got progressively and progressively worse, but I was kind of in denial about it. I thought like there's no reason for this to be happening, so I would always kind of make myself think it was better than what it was, which was really bizarre. But I would always be like, oh well, I'll just get rid of this one, then it'll be fine, I'll just get rid of this one, then it'll be fine. It took me a while to actually realise, right, this actually isn't getting any better, and it's actually like, it is quite bad. But I guess at this point we were in full-on lockdown, so I wasn't leaving the house, so it probably couldn't have happened at a better time. I didn't have to put makeup on my face or anything like that, so I was just really treating the spots myself at home, and they were going, but they were always coming back. They weren't going completely. It was in December of last year, so after about 4 months I kind of accepted. I was like, right, this is actual adult acne at this point, like this isn't just a few spots, this isn't going to go away on its own, like I actually need to go and get this treated. So I made an appointment with the dermatologist and went to kind of see what was going on. I'd kind of come to the conclusion myself a little bit that it was hormonal, because it always tended to be the worst at a certain point every month. It was always there, but at a certain point every month it would kind of flare up and I'd get more and it would be more red and kind of just worse. So I'd come to that conclusion myself, but through speaking to the dermatologist we kind of concluded that was the case. So we switched out my contraception, and he also prescribed me with an antibiotic and a topical antibiotic cream for my face. So I came home the same day, I switched out my contraception, I changed the pill that I was on, and I started the treatment straight away. So it was a 3-month course of antibiotics I was given. It was called limecycline, which I think is the standard antibiotics that you're given basically for acne. And then it was, I'm not sure how long the treatment of the cream was, but I was basically given 2 bottles of the cream and told to use it basically every day. Go away, on your way, see what happens. So like I say, this was in December. So I was on the cream and I was on the antibiotics, sorry, until March, and I still use the cream now. So I'll talk a little bit about both of them now. So the antibiotics, I feel it's really difficult to know whether that worked or not, because I was using it alongside the cream, alongside the change in contraception. It's really difficult to pinpoint whether the antibiotic actually worked or not. If I had to make a choice, I would kind of say it didn't really do much, because I think the main purpose of the antibiotic is to reduce redness, and I didn't really notice a change in redness, but I think that was combated by the fact that the cream creates redness. So it was kind of really difficult to see whether the antibiotic was working, but obviously once you start a course you have to finish it, so I definitely stuck with that for the full 3 months. Now moving on to the topical cream that I was given, I was prescribed Epiduo, which again is the standard cream that you're prescribed if you go to the dermatologist or the doctors for acne. I've spoken a little bit about this cream in my empties video, which obviously means I still continue to use it, but basically it's a mixture of adapalene, which is a really strong retinoid, and benzoyl peroxide, which is really going to help with scarring and things like that and reducing active spots. So it's a mixture of those two things, but it's obviously prescription strength, so you can't get it at the local pharmacy or Boots kind of thing. You have to actually get a proper prescription for it. When the doctor gave it to me, he did tell me and warn me about how strong it was, but I really don't think I was prepared for how strong it really was. So the idea of the cream is that you use it basically every night before bed, and it's supposed to basically, get rid of your acne. That's what it's supposed to do. So like I say, he did warn me about how strong it was, and he told me to maybe use it, like build up my tolerance to it. So what he said initially to do was for the first week, put it on, leave it on for a couple of hours, and then wash it off just before bed. So that's what I started to do. I would usually put it on about 6-7 o'clock, and then I would wash it off right before bedtime. It was a struggle to keep that cream on for 4 hours. Like for the first week I only left it on for 1 hour, and then I would wash it off, and I was like, I can do this, I can handle this. 2 hours, I was like, I got this. Leaving that cream on for 4 hours, it was a struggle. By the time I got to bed, my face would be so red, so itchy, so dry, and just awful. If I can find some pictures of what my skin looked like while I was using the cream, I'll put them, well, I definitely know that I have pictures, I'll put them on the screen now. Like, this cream really takes you through it, because your skin has to adapt. It's so strong that your skin just has to build up the tolerance to it, but once you get there, it really, really is worth it. So I think if you're not as eager to get rid of it like I was, you could use it maybe like once a week, twice a week, just washing it off. But I was like, look, I'd rather my skin be red, flaky and itchy knowing that this is going to work than still be suffering with this in like 4 or 5 months time. So I was like, let me just use this every night, and let me just like put up with the side effects. So that is why my skin looks as bad as what it did in that photo. If you kind of spaced out how often you used it and used it a bit less, you probably wouldn't have as bad side effects as that, but I was desperate, I wanted rid. So like I say, it was dry, it was flaky, it was itchy, and it really was a struggle to keep it on for longer than the 4 hours. So I would probably say it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to build up the tolerance to be able to leave it on overnight. So after about 3 weeks, I would say probably, I could put it on before bed and then wake up in the morning and wash it straight off, and I wasn't kind of red or flaky or itchy or anything like that. So if we go back to the timeline, like I say, I went and got this cream in December, and then I would say it probably took 3 months for the acne to fully subside. So that was me using the Epiduo every single night before bed and staying on the antibiotics. And while I was doing that, I wasn't doing anything else. I was moisturising, because obviously the Epiduo makes your skin so dry, but other than that, I really wasn't doing anything. I would just wash my face, Epiduo, a little bit of moisturiser, that would be it. No fancy creams, no face masks, no nothing. I didn't want anything else to risk irritating, and I didn't want to risk anything else irritating my skin. So 3 months of that, and it went. However, those 3 months, they were painful. It wasn't a case of all of the existing spots just went. I got new spots, a lot of new spots, because obviously the Epiduo penetrates deep into the skin, pushes out all the gunk, so you are going to get that purging. So I had 3 months of purging, redness, dryness, irritated, awful skin. It was painful, I'll be honest. It was really a struggle. However, if we skip to March, no spots, like absolutely no spots, and we're now June and nothing since. So it was 3 months of pain. However, for me, it definitely worked. I know a lot of people have tried this cream and it doesn't work for them. Obviously their acne is a little bit more severe than what mine was, but for me this worked an absolute treat, and I would definitely recommend it if you kind of have mild, or like you don't actually have always had acne, like you just suddenly get an onset of it, which means it's probably not that bad, like it's not cystic, it hasn't been going on for months and months. So I would definitely recommend this cream in those instances. Like I say, just be prepared though, like if you have a big event coming up or something where, like I couldn't wear makeup at this point, like my skin was so dry and red underneath, like there was no way I could put makeup on. So if you have something where you don't want to be kind of dealing with that, then just be wary if you're going to use this cream for that. So now we're obviously in March and absolutely no spots, and at this point I wanted to start introducing other things into my skincare routine again, because like I say, that was 3 months of absolutely nothing else. But now at this point I've got no spots, I've got no active acne, but I've got a lot of hyperpigmentation and scarring basically. When you have that amount of spots, scarring is pretty much going to be inevitable, like they're not just going to go in without a trace. So unfortunately you do have the scars to deal with, but obviously I can cover them up with makeup, and they have gotten so much better. So we're June now. I'll try and find some pictures of what my acne scarring looked like in like March, the beginning of April, and I'll try and insert them here. That's obviously what it looked like then, and then I will insert a picture of what my acne scars look like now with absolutely no makeup on. So we're now the beginning of June. So you can hopefully see, hopefully that worked, you can hopefully see that is only what, so I would say 2 months, like all of April, all of May, and we're only like a week into June, so 2 months and the scars have reduced dramatically. Obviously they're not gone, they're nowhere near gone, and it will take another few months to get there. However, I can see improvement, and that for me is enough. At least I know I'm heading in the right direction. So I'm going to do a whole separate video on acne scars and how I treat my acne scars, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you want to see that. But yeah, at this point in March I wanted to slowly introduce more skincare products to combat that into my skincare routine, but there's a lot of things that you can't use while you're on Epiduo because it's so strong basically. So I dropped down from using Epiduo every single night to using Epiduo 3 nights a week, and I still do that. I continue to do that, and I probably will continue to do that for the foreseeable future. It's basically, you should be using retinol anyways, and it's basically just a really strong retinol. You should be using retinol 3 nights a week. It combats aging, it's an amazing ingredient. However, I have prescription retinol that I am used to and my skin is accustomed to, so for me it's kind of a no-brainer. Why would I stop using it when I'm basically, if I was to stop using it, I'd just go and use a normal retinol from the drugstore. So I might as well use the one that's better because my skin's accustomed to it. A lot of people don't use it because 1, they don't have a prescription, and 2, they don't want to go through all the side effects. I've done both of those things, so I will continue to use that for the foreseeable future because I feel like I've just said, I'm using my retinol, and also it's preventing future breakouts. It kills all the bacteria on your skin, so any future breakouts, you're not going to get them. So that for me, I will continue to use that 3 nights a week. And like I say, I've started to reduce all of the other ingredients to help with the scarring on the other nights of the week. So keep your eyes peeled for another video coming on that. So that is the end of this video. I hope this was in some way, shape or form at least useful to one person. Then I've done my job. I know it can be a real struggle when you're going through it, but just know there is an end in sight, and with the right products, with the right skincare, with a little bit of patience and unfortunately a lot of time, you can really can get there. So I am living proof that you can come out the other side, like it will be fine, I promise. If you like this video, be sure to let me know by giving it a like and leaving a comment down below. I would love to do more skincare videos. Like I've said before, skincare is my jam, so hopefully there'll be lots more coming, but I would really appreciate it while you're here if you would subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!